The Velcron armada descended upon the outer colonies like a plague of metal locusts. Commander Bella watched from the observation deck of the research station Prometheus 7 as their warships tore through the orbital defenses with contemptuous ease. The aliens had studied humanity for cycles, watched their primitive vessels limp between star systems, noted their fragmented governments and endless squabbles. They had made one fatal miscalculation. "Ma'am, they're hailing us," Lieutenant Faraz reported from the communication station, his dark eyes reflecting the crimson glow of the enemy fleet on the view screen. "Standard surrender demands. They want all military personnel to—" "I know what they want," Bella interrupted, her fingers dancing across her console. Deep beneath the station, in levels the Velcron scans had somehow missed, ancient machinery hummed to life. "How long until they're in firing range?" 4 minutes. Their lead dreadnought is charging weapons." Bella allowed herself a thin smile. Humanity had played the role of primitive spacefarer perfectly. They had hidden their true nature behind a facade of struggling colonists and outdated technology, all while the real human civilization had been preparing, waiting. The Velcron had conquered 47 species in their march across the galaxy. They had perfected the art of warfare against civilizations that had grown soft in peacetime, races that had forgotten the savage necessities of survival. But humanity had never forgotten. Humanity had never grown soft. "Faraz, transmit on the old frequencies," Bella commanded. "All of them. It's time." The young lieutenant's hands trembled slightly as he entered the codes, ancient strings of numbers and letters that had been passed down through generations of military families, waiting for this exact moment. "Signal sent, Commander." Across human space, the illusion shattered. The colony ships that the Velcron had dismissed as cargo haulers suddenly shed their outer hulls, revealing weapons platforms that made their dreadnoughts look like children's toys. Mining stations transformed into fortress worlds, their surfaces bristling with defense grids that had been hidden in plain sight for decades. And in the dark spaces between stars where humanity had supposedly struggled to maintain a presence, fleets materialized from quantum fold drives that physics, as the Velcron understood it, said couldn't exist. The Velcron commander aboard the lead dreadnought barely had time to register confusion before Bella's station revealed its true nature. Prometheus 7 wasn't a research facility. It was a weapons platform designed by a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of killing its own kind, and had recently decided to redirect that terrible expertise outward. "Weapons free," Bella said quietly. The station's main cannon fired once. The blast punched through the Velcron dreadnought's shields, armor, and hull like they were made of tissue paper, continuing through 3 more ships before dissipating into the void. It was a weapon born from humanity's darkest impulses, refined by generations who remembered Earth's wars and vowed never to be caught unprepared again. Faraz stared at his console, watching the enemy fleet's panicked attempts to retreat. "They're trying to flee. Our ships are—" "Commander, they're not even trying to dodge. They're just hurting them," Bella finished. "We're not letting a single one escape to warn their empire what's really out here." The Velcron had expected a fight. What they got was an extermination. Human ships moved with impossible precision, their pilots enhanced by neural implants that made them one with their vessels. Their weapons utilized principles the Velcron hadn't even theorized, and their tactics were drawn from 10,000 years of humans killing humans, refined and perfected until warfare had become an art form. Within 20 minutes it was over. The Velcron armada that had conquered dozens of worlds ceased to exist. Faraz looked up from his station, his face pale. "Commander, intelligence reports are coming in from across the frontier. We've eliminated 17 Velcron fleets simultaneously. Total victory across all engagement zones. 0 enemy survivors." Bella nodded slowly, watching the debris field that had been an armada. She felt no joy in the slaughter, only a grim satisfaction that humanity's long deception had worked. They had appeared weak, divided, primitive, all while building an empire that could crush any threat to its existence. "Open a channel," she ordered. "Wideband all frequencies. I want their whole empire to hear this." Faraz worked his console, then nodded. "Channel open, Commander." Bella leaned forward, her voice carrying across the vast distances between stars. "Velcron Empire, this is Commander Bella Martinez of the Terran Defense Directorate. You invaded our space believing us to be easy prey. You were wrong. Humanity has spent centuries preparing for this moment. hiding our true strength while we studied you, learned your tactics, and readied ourselves for war. She paused, letting her words sink in across the void. You have attacked the only species in this galaxy that has spent its entire existence fighting itself. We are survivors of 1,000 extinctions, veterans of wars that would break your civilization's will in days. We are humanity, and we do not forgive threats to our existence. Another pause. In the background, human fleets were already advancing toward Velcron space, ready to carry the war to an enemy that had thought itself invincible. Withdraw from all occupied worlds. Release all conquered species. Disarm your military to defensive forces only. You have one standard cycle to comply. Bella's voice hardened to steel. If you refuse, we will show you what humans do when our survival is threatened. We will show you why every species on our homeworld that competed with us is now extinct. We will show you why the word humanity should never have been mistaken for mercy. She closed the channel and turned to Feroz, who looked at her with a mixture of awe and fear. Did we go too far, Commander? He asked quietly. Bella looked out at the stars, at the vast empire humanity had built in secret, at the fleets now moving to secure their future. No, Lieutenant. We went exactly far enough. The galaxy thought we were weak. Now they'll know the truth. Humans are the most dangerous thing in this universe when you threaten what's ours. As Prometheus 7 began its burn toward the next engagement, Bella allowed herself one final thought. The Velcron had wanted conquest. Instead, they had awakened something that had been sleeping, waiting, and preparing. They had awakened humanity, and the galaxy would never be the same.